Hello, welcome back. Today we are going to talk about the impending doom or blessing of bridal season that is coming up. I know some of you are on the other side of the world from me, and maybe your season is getting ready to wind down. But for most of us that's around me, we're going to be going into our spring bridal season soon. So, I just wanted to talk about how we prepare for bridal season so that you don't get overloaded. All right. So, and of course, if you're on the other side of the world, your bridal season is coming eventually, right? So, that's our topic for today. We'll just go over some notes together of ways that I manage. I did just get a DM earlier today that kind of helped me clarify this discussion because the question was, do I hire help? And if I do, um, what do I have them do? So that's what we are talking about today is preparing for bridal season. What things can I offload and get someone else to help me with versus what are just some things that I can only do myself? And that's a question that you guys are all going to want to be asking yourselves, right? So everybody's just kind of popping in here. Welcome, welcome. So when we talk about bridal season and we talk about workload, the idea is it's kind of like planning a wedding. Some of this stuff, it doesn't matter how much you plan, you're not going to get it done until the week of the wedding, right? Especially if you're dealing with like fresh flowers, something like that. And it's the same way with bride season. Hello, Maria. She says, hello, Brenda, sitting at the hairdresser's but had to jump on. Yeah, pop in those earbuds and have a good old time. And of course, if you guys have to hop off, I do keep these on my channel, so you can always come back and rewatch. But the idea is there's some sewing that can only be done during bridal season, right there before pickup, right? Putting my lotion on. And then there's some sewing that can be done way in advance. And then just other business stuff that can be done way in advance. So let's talk about that. As far as workload, obviously anything that requires a fresh fit, this has to happen during bridal season, okay? Let's just draw this line and think about all the things that we can do ahead of time so that everything isn't down here happening during bridal season. And you guys are welcome to put some things in the comments. Please do things that you like to do in your off season to prepare. Okay, so right now we're actually working on organizing. Because as you know, if you can't find your stuff, you're going to work a lot more slowly. So we're doing organizing, spring cleaning. After we get the spring cleaning done, then we're going to be moving on to kind of sprucing up the bridal area, the front customer area, trying to get that looking as good as possible. You don't want to be in the middle of a project of that right in the middle of bridal season, right? So you've got these things, but you can also, January and February, I always have to remind my husband of this because he about has a nervous breakdown. How many of you have nervous breakdown husbands? I do. January and February, I have to remind him, honey, I'm ordering ahead for spring. I have to have these things on hand. So I go through and I see like, oh goodness, I need more needles. I need more this and that, right? I'm going to order, let's put order supplies, So we're looking at thread, gown bags. We don't do a lot of crinolines right now, but I need to make sure I do have some on hand because you can't mark their hem without them. You need to have them on hand. Bust pads. Always buy these things in the off season if you can. I know you sometimes have to circle back and get some more, but we have shortages of these things during bridal season quite often, don't we? So let's order these things now to avoid the shortage. Okay, hangers. We need lots of hangers. All right. This is also when you can get your print supplies taken care of. So you're going to get your contracts printed out. It's a good time to revisit and print your contracts. It's a great time for that. And then just also like your ink, paper, whatever. I find a lot of times during bridal season, I'm having to print things out, make copies and scans of stuff. And then I'm like, I'm out of ink and everything comes to a grinding halt. So you don't want to do that. You also want to do your own skill enrichment. If there's a certain skill that you've been wanting to learn, you need to be doing that now. Get that wrapped up. You don't want to be learning anything during bridal season. It's just survive, right? Okay, so these are things that you can do ahead of time. Work on your website. You'll see also skill enrichment, a lot of classes, a lot of retreats going on right now, right? People getting together right now. That's all going to be quiet during bridal season. So there's a reason why we have kind of this calendar of when we do those things. So yeah, freshen up your website, your policies that are, public terms and conditions, things like that. This is a good time to reinvest in your relationships because after you're in the big middle of bridal season, sometimes don't you feel like with your feeder stores, the stores that are giving you your referrals and stuff, don't you sometimes feel like you only talk to each other when somebody's having a problem? And you don't want to do that. You don't want to just be like problem, and then you're quiet the rest of the year. And then, I'm back with all my problems. I'm back with your problem customers. You don't want to do that. So all that to think about, okay? This is all the business side. Now let's talk about the sewing side, okay? This is what I get asked a lot about. Who do I hire? What do I do on my own? Who do I hire? I get asked that all the time. You're drowning in work. You know you need help. What are you going to do? Okay. If you just run an ad on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever for a bridal seamstress, you're probably not going to have good results. You're either A, going to get somebody who has very basic sewing experience and you have to train them. And then once they get their training, they're going to leave you. That's super common. Or B, you'll get somebody very experienced, but they know what kind of money they can make on their own. And so you can't really afford them, right? It's very hard to find somebody who just wants to come in as a contractor and do bridal sewing and go home. I mean, it kind of sounds like a vacation, doesn't it? But it's hard to find that because we just can't pay anything near what they can make if they do it on their own. So this is all the business stuff that I tend to try to offload right here. All right. So that I don't have a lot of business stuff during bridal season. The only business stuff I have is returning texts and calls, which, spoiler alert, you can hire a bookings assistant or some admin help that can help you with communicating with your customers. You can be over here sewing at your machine. They can be over at the other table and they say, read out loud, this customer said this and that. What do you want me to say? And you say back. Okay. So that way you're not having to pull off and text all this stuff or make phone calls. They can do it for you. That by far is one of the most helpful employees that I've ever had. I love having a bookings assistant. But this is something that you just you can't do it ahead of time. It happens real time. Somebody's like, I have a flat tire, I need to reschedule. You know, you can't do that ahead of time. So this is going to be stuff really happening. Appointments, right? You can try to get as many of them done ahead of time as you can, which I do. Okay. But you're going to have appointments during peak bridal season. And the thing that really kills you, what really mounts up, and I feel like a lot of times people aren't understanding, like, where's all this pressure coming from? I have the same number of brides as usual. It's the pickups. It's the final fittings and pickups. That's what gets you. The stakes are higher. Their stress level is higher. The dress has to be perfect. This is not like, oh, I just took up the straps. We can see if it's okay and we can tweak it for next time. No, it's got to be aisle ready. You're steaming, you know, you're teaching people how to do bustles. And it's just so many moving parts for those final pickups. All right. That's where you're feeling your pressure from. That you cannot offload. Okay. But you can get all of your initial consults out of the way just as early as you can. Okay, this is the pushback that I get back initially, is if I say, get your initial consults out of the way. They'll say, but she doesn't get married till June. How can I get her in January for an initial consult when June is so far away? You know, they don't actually want to be working on the dress for another 4 months or whatever. Well, it depends on what you consider your initial consult. What do you think it's for? Okay. I think the initial consult is for meeting each other. You know, just get the chemistry working, making sure you guys, you know, can communicate well. She knows where your location is. She's comfortable with that. Okay. How many of us have had people cancel at the last minute? I didn't know you were that far away. It's crazy, but it happens. The other thing is you want to have an idea of the scope of the project so that you can get her on your calendar, get all of your appointments booked out, right? And then the other aspect of the scope of project is she needs to know what her budget is. So you can get all of that out of the way. That's a lot of stuff to get out of the way. So if you think about it, if you spend 30, 45 minutes, an hour with her in January or February, that saves that much time in bridal season. Don't underestimate that. Don't have them reaching out to you in January. Hey, I found my dress. Can you take me on? And you're like, yeah, yep, call me in 4 months. No, no. It's fine. If you've got a small enough workload where you're like, well, I only take on 4 brides a month or something. Okay, that's fine. More power to you. But if you really want to max out what you can possibly handle, don't do that. Get them in here. Get all that stuff out of the way so that when they come back for the sewing to be done, you are ready to roll. And it doesn't matter. Hear me out. It doesn't matter if you've got to take it in 1 size or 4 sizes, right? Because remember, I teach at the initial, when you're giving them a quote, you're going to, I'm seeing a question there, Maria. I will get to that. That's a very good question. Shoot my mind. Maria, I'm not upset. Thank you for asking that question. I lost my train of thought. Oh, I give them a range. That's what it is. I always give them a price range. Okay. And again, if you ever want to do a retreat, we do have one coming up, a 2-day retreat in February. I highly recommend, if you have not done a retreat yet, get in on that. I've already got, it's open on my website. You can go to my website, the blog, and I've posted the dates of it. and I've got a coupon in there if you book early too. But go ahead and get on the books for that. It's just a 2-day virtual retreat, and we'll take a super deep dive on this stuff. But anyways, you give them a range. That way, if you only take it in a little bit versus a lot, it's there. All right, let me read these just so I'm not sure how many questions I've missed here, and I want to get all of you guys. Okay, let's see. Sue Davis, hello all. Jays, hello. Angie Gregory, BST Bestie. Do you use crinoline skirts or make it custom to the dress? Both. So a lot of times I just have them rent the crinoline, and basically what they do is they pay the full price for the crinoline, and when they bring it back, I give them a deposit back. That way I don't have to keep track of when they bring it back or if they do. It's just less pressure, less paperwork for everybody. But then they don't have to purchase the crinoline, because when are you going to use that again, right? But then, yes, sometimes I do sew that in. Lori, BST Bestie, hello. And a lot of you guys are in my cleaning course right now that's going on. If one of you wanted to join the cleaning course and you haven't yet, it's open. I'm going to leave that. It's an open course. You can join anytime and get caught up. I'm going to keep it open even after we finish this month out. I'm going to keep it up. It'll be evergreen. So you can join anytime. And that, again, you can link to it. It's on my blog. Let's see. Top Cat Tiger. Hi. Fantastic advice as usual. Thank you, darling. Maria, I agree. The pickup and the final fittings made me crazy in the height of the season. That's exactly what it is. Maria, did you say 4 brides a month? Yeah, I feel like 4 brides a month is like a very light load. That's very, very light load. Like part-time. And so with that, you may not, this may not be as big of an issue is what I'm meaning. So more like 15 to 30, that's a full load generally. Okay. When you get up into like 30 to 50 brides, you're going to want a team. And we're going to get into that, who to hire to help. You're going to want a team, or you're going to be working day and night and you're going to lose your mind. Okay. And sometimes you just do that. I did that for years. I just lost my mind for 2 months at a time, twice a year. Hannah, OMG, I finally made it. LOL. So glad to hear your voice live again. Welcome, Hannah. She's such a good help. She's my moderator for my the group that we have on Discord for the week-long virtual retreat last fall. Hannah came in clutch. We love her. And if any of you are ever on Discord and have a problem, Hannah's your girl. So, of course, you can reach out to me too, but she's just cooler than me. So, anyways, I think that's it as far as that goes, businessy stuff. All right. So we've got, you guys get what I'm going on here, right? This is off-season things that you can do business-wise to prepare. This is below this line is bridal season, okay? Business things that you have to do during that time. Again, in the comments, add to it. Now, in this space, what I'm going to do is more like sewing. Okay, what can you do ahead of time? And then what do you have to do during bridal season? And then we're going to talk about, this is going to be what I have to do. This is going to be what I can offload, and I'll tell you how I offload it. Okay. So let's say, just for people that join at a different time, this is before bridal season. This is during bridal season. This is businessy stuff. All right. This is sewing stuff. Sewing things that you can get ahead of time. Okay. There's not a lot of prep work that you can do except for when we get to the organizing. You can make sure you've got your fabric organized. That's going to help you with your sewing later, but that's still not sewing, right? If you bring in your dresses early though, if you know the bride, you know, the dress is made for 5'10", and you know the bride is 5'2", wearing a 3-inch heel, that's 5'5", you know that crinolin's going to have to be hemmed approximately 5 inches. You can hem crinolines. Okay, hem the underlayers is what I'm talking about, not the rental crinolines, but the crinoline layers of your gowns. You can get that done ahead of time. You can pick the lace ahead of time. This could be side seams, whatever seam you're going to work on. Side seams and hems. Just go ahead and pick the front lace off if you know you've got to hem it. And again, we get into more detail with this with the virtual retreats because we have more time, but the whole idea is you need to have on record when you do the intake the height of the bride, so you will have the information where you're like, okay, I know I got to hem this. And it's ideal for them to know when they come in for the initial, at least what the heel height's going to be. Even if they don't have the shoes in hand, they can say, oh, I've already ordered them, they're 3.5 inches. Okay, so you can be prepping this stuff. This can save so much time. All right, you can have all your bustle hooks prepped. Okay, so if you like custom paint them or whatever, you can get all your colors lined up, get all of those done and ready to go. But as you can see, there's not near so much sewing you can do ahead of time compared to office stuff. There's not near so much office stuff during the bridal season compared to the sewing stuff we're getting ready to get to. So you've got to fit the dress during bridal season, right? The actual fit of her body. Hemming, bustling, choosing bustles, all of this has to happen. Veil making, hemming of veils, all of those appointments. Okay, so this takes a lot of sewing machine work that's really skilled, right? Doing the fitting appointments takes a skill that takes a good long while to learn, but then also all of this sewing to adjust the dresses, it's a higher skill. You're not just gonna just hire somebody off the street and, you know, put them on the cutting table and they're cutting hems, or, you know, get them to the machine and they're sewing and adjusting the fit. That's scary. Okay, so who can we offload some of this to? And I'll tell you my offload jobs. All right, I have lace pickers because you will always still have more lace to be picked. Okay, so they can pick the side seams, the hem, you know, the butt seams if we're going to do a butt tuck, whatever. I have lace pickers, lace sewers. It's actually pretty easy to train people to sew lace. It you know, when I bring somebody on, I teach them like how to tie a knot. I teach them what weight threads and needles go with what kind of job. I show them how to do the stitches, and then the rest of it is really just between them, you know, putting in the hours to learn how to do it. But the whole idea is any of this, as long as they're neat, they really can't harm anything. Like even if they sew the lace a little too tight or a little too loose, that happens all the time here, honestly. And I just go in and add more stitches or, you know, snip some stitches and replace them or something, okay? Lace pickers, lace sewers, bustlers. I put in a bustle myself, maybe only once or twice a week. I almost always have my girls put in bustles. Okay. And it does not take long to train them in bustles. It's like one training session and then a continual follow up with it. So, and we've talked about it before when somebody's newer and they're having to make that judgment call of like, do I put the hook here or the loop there? They see the two pins and they're like, which one goes where? How should I do it? What will look good? If you've got somebody that's still kind of at the beginner with their judgment, I've got these clips. They're color coded. H is hooks, L is loops. And so when I've got the two safety pins on the dress and I'm looking at it, I'm like, ooh, the loop needs to be up here. Clip. This one needs to be the hook. Clip. And then there's no question, and they can just go ahead and sew that without question. If they have a question, it's not a big deal, but it's better if ahead of time you can eliminate some of the questions where they can work a little bit faster, right? They also are going to steam and spot clean. Those are also very easy to train. Press. Pretty much with pressing, I just tell them like, don't ruin like veining and pleats and stuff, and dry press silk, right? That's about all you need to know. If there's some big, meshy, crispy thing behind a fine fabric, you don't want to press and imprint through there. You know, that's about it. Doesn't take long. And then, of course, they can do supply runs. This would be kind of an office thing, but this is everything that I'm for sure offloading. Okay. So if they need to run to the local grocery store to get trash bags, for instance, that's what we're talking about. Supply runs, cleaning. I am not mopping my floors during bridal season. I'm not above mopping my floors. I still mop floors. But when I need to be having this machine going and getting all this work done, and I'm the only one that knows how to run it, I best be on the machine and somebody else needs to be cleaning. So that's what we do. I offload that cleaning. Okay. Just tidying up the place. Sweeping, whatever. I still have to sweep and dust bust as I go just because we continually make so much trash, right? But I'm going to have somebody else doing that. And even like the outdoor maintenance of the building and stuff, all of that, somebody else is taking care of. All right. So once you, these are really the big ones. Once you offload this, you have so much more time to take care of this. Okay. Incredible difference. All right, let me check the questions, and then I've just got like a little bit of something I wanted to chat with you guys about, and then that'll be it for this week. So if you have any questions, make sure you put them in. Let's see here. Marguerite, how do you find your helpers? I usually grab somebody I already know. So like it's usually like a family friend or a friend of mine, somebody who's like, oh, I would love to work where you love. I'm like, all right, you're mine, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, they're usually young, like very like transitional. They don't normally stay with me like super long, because their life, you know, transitions and moves on. So we're talking like very recent high school graduates. We're also talking about part-time. None of these are, this is not full-time position. This is like several girls just working part-time. That's not to say that I've never had full-time workers. I have. But at the volume that I have right now, because I don't want to be extremely high volume store, I don't have like several full-time people on here. Okay. So in fact, because I'm usually running 3 or 4 girls, and because of the laws where I live, you get to pay them up to $600 cash, where it's like on my books that I paid somebody, but I don't actually have to file taxes for them. And there's word on the street they're going to change that law. If that changes, I'm just going to do something different. I try to stay within the law, people. But anyways, we try to work with that where it's like, oh, they've worked their max for the year, I'll give more hours to this girl or that kind of thing. So I have quite a few. And then also, um, your kids, depends on what state you live in. So check it out. But your kids can make significantly more money. You can pay them significantly more money out of your business before you have to tax them. So that helps a lot. So if you have a kid who wants to make some money, I try to pay them super well, and my kids are happy working for me. So that's usually what we do. But they work so good. Oh, I see Hannah. Yes. Texas, you can pay them up to 600 a year. Yeah, that's how it is here. So, if you think about that, if you've got 4 people working for you, 600 a year, that's $2,400 that you don't have to deal with, like, payroll taxes on for them, right? And that's nice. Let's see. Memory bears and keepsakes. Hearts to you too, my dear. I think that's everything. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to talk with you guys about, and again, if you have a off-topic question, on-topic question, comment, anything, put it in there and we'll address it. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about is, on this channel, there's a couple different ways I look at it. One is, obviously, my heart is really into teaching, elevating the trade of bridal sewing. I love teaching it. I love the YouTube platform. Nobody gets scared. I'm not going anywhere. Okay. Don't get scared. But I love teaching on the YouTube platform because it's something that doesn't cost you guys anything, but YouTube will pay me. And so they don't pay a lot, at least for the size channel I'm at, but I get paid something, right? So it's a really positive situation for everybody involved. I do love that, and I'm not going to stop doing that. But the thing to remember with me working through YouTube is I do have to look at my analytics. And the more subscribers that I have, it puts me into a different advertising bracket, and I can actually make more money off of my channel versus, like, they sell the ad time higher rate than if I only had like 2,000 subscribers, for instance. Okay. So the larger your channel gets, the more money you can make from YouTube. It's great. That's awesome. It's so fair. So I do have to pay attention to my subscriber numbers, and I do have to make sure that I do good business as far as YouTube is concerned, because that is how I get paid for my time here. I would love to do this for free. If I had all the money in the world, I would do it for free. It's fine because I love it. But I can't. I do need to, like, make sure that whatever I make, whatever I don't make from sewing, that I can be making it up with what I make with YouTube. Okay. So I'm saying all that because, like, for instance, I did the design your own bridal line. I started that last year, and I wanted to just boom, 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 and get it done by the end of summer. It did not take off with YouTube. Okay. So I'm not going to quit the line. I've mentioned it a couple times. I'm not going to quit that series, but I'm spacing it out, and I'm putting other videos in between. I'm kind of padding it with other videos that I know are going to get good traffic, so that I can continue to make money on YouTube. And then I'll intersperse these videos. Make sense? So that's why it's taking me longer to get that series done. I have to pay attention to analytics like that. I can't just, like, say, okay, YouTube has noticed that even though there's a lot of people on YouTube, that want to learn how to design their own bridal line. They're not in my audience. YouTube figured that out right away. Like, oh, her audience just cares about alterations and how to run a bridal alteration shop. They, very few of them, statistically, very few, okay, are actually interested in their own bridal line and watching videos for that end result. Okay. So if you love that, that's fine. I'm here for you. That's great. But you are in the minority of my audience. Okay. So I have to look at all of this in order to continue doing YouTube. I can't just upload a bunch of stuff that the majority of my audience doesn't want because it will kill my channel. So that being said, some of you are so faithful at coming to these live streams, and I feel like I've gotten to know you guys a lot better through the live streams. I like them in that regard as well. But something is happening with my live streams. I can look at my analytics, my stats on the back end of my channel. When I upload a video, I gain hundreds of subscribers. When I upload a short, I gain hundreds of subscribers. Okay. So I post a new video. You guys that have notifications on, you hop on, you watch it. I'm so grateful. Thumbs up, all the things. All of that's happening. It's awesome. When I do a live stream, because it's a smaller number of you guys that are really stoked about this, when I do a live stream, YouTube sends out the notification to most of my subscribers, or a good portion of them. Most of my subscribers don't like my live streams. They don't want to watch them, and it's interrupting them at the wrong time of the day. And so when they don't want to get this notification every Thursday, they're unsubscribing, and I'm literally losing subscribers over over doing live streams. So when I look at the numbers of live streams, I'm losing subscribers every month when I do a live stream. So I cannot do that. So this is where this conversation comes in. I would love ideas. You can put them in the comments. I'm still going to leave this up, obviously. You can put them in the comments. You can DM me. Yes, Hannah, that's probably why. She's saying, I noticed YouTube isn't sending me a notification that you've gone live. That's crazy. That's why. They figured out, I mean, YouTube, they're very supportive of creators. I'm grateful. But they figured out that, ooh, when we send out a notification for this, she sheds subscribers. So basically what I'm thinking is, my question is, should I switch to maybe, because I don't want to like leave you guys hanging, the ones of you that show up every week and love it, you know? Should I switch to maybe not quite as often and it's more like an Instagram live? Because I feel like that's not as disruptive. Like, it shows up in your stories, and if you don't want to watch it, you just slide right past. It's not like an interrupting kind of thing. I mean, some people have notification for lives, but only if they want to. With this, I can't turn off notifications just on lives. I don't think I can. So would you rather me change this to Instagram lives in the stories? Or I thought about doing lives, but doing it members only. Because like my cheapest members only tier is like $1.99 a month. It doesn't cost much at all. And most of you guys that show up every week are kind of like diehard BST besties anyways. So I could do it there, and then it could be a members only perk. Like, you would get trainings like this, and the general public would not get these trainings. So it would technically like kind of give you a level up, you know? That's another way to look at it. So please let me know in the comments right now how you feel about that. We can have a discussion. And then if you're watching this live stream later, thank you so much for joining us when you could. Leave it in the comments which one you think I should do. I can't keep doing it this format. So either it's going to be Instagram lives, which I've never even tried, but hey, let's figure it out. Or I can do it members only live stream. All right. So there's the choices. Just tell me what would work best for you. And I might could do both. If it's kind of 50-50 and I feel like you guys are going to get a benefit out of both, I'll do both. It's fine. And then also, yes, Hannah, I see you saying, what about on Discord or members only? Discord, I pay extra. There's hosting fees and stuff for a lot of the stuff I do. So for people who think that creators are just like begging for money all the time, they don't understand how much extra fees we pay. Discord is not free for me. I pay a monthly amount. So I do pay a monthly amount where I can upload videos. So that's why Hannah's saying that. But there's a upload size limit. And they're not live. It would be like a private upload, which would be like, why wouldn't I just do it members only on YouTube? I don't know. So yeah, I can think about that with Discord. Or what I would probably do, guys, speaking of Discord, Hannah, is I can do a live stream like this, and it could be entirely private where there's no interaction, like where I'm reading your comments and stuff. There's no interaction. I would just do my presentation. It's private. And then I could drop the link in Discord where only the BST besties who are on Discord will see that link, and they can go view the video and they can comment in there, and I can comment back, or they can comment in Discord. That's true. There's that option too. And then that's a good idea where I would avoid the members only thing for those of you who are just like, I just cannot have one more monthly fee. I'll lose my mind. Even if it's, $1.99 or whatever. Just can't do it. I understand. So, all right, let me read your comments real quick. Let's see. Terry Allen, where can I find your blog? Love watching you. I'm learning so much. Do you do bridesmaid dresses also? I do not do bridesmaid dresses. I only do bridal, but they do share a lot of things in common. Okay, so my blog, you guys can always, the easiest thing is bridalsewing.com. And for those of you who follow me, this was a really big deal for me to get this acquisition this year, that I was able to get that website. But if you want to go directly to the blog, okay, so you can go to bridalsewing.com, and then in the upper, you can click blog. Or you can go to www.bridalsewingtechniques.com/blog. All right. So you can do either of those, and they're also linked to, like, on my link in bio and Instagram, and also on my channel information. And guys, I am on, I'm doing the live stream with my iPhone again today, and as you can tell, this is out of focus. I cannot get it to focus. For those of you who love iPhones, I need you to teach me how to work it. Okay. Angie Gregory, BST Bestie. This is so kind. Wherever you are, we'll follow you. Do what's good for you. Thank you. And I'm just going to see what you guys say this week. You can let me know on Instagram too. I'm literally going to be weird and pray about it. I'm going to be like, what should I do? I don't know. Okay, let's see. Susanna. Hi, Susanna. I'm so sad to hear the lives weren't killing it first thought. Personally loving the subscribers only version. I guess you're meaning the members. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, because I have felt like for the $1.99 membership, members only, I've posted a few things there, members only, but I feel like it's really more for that I guarantee I'll answer your questions in the comments. In a video, if you have a question, I can't just be like, oh, I'm so busy, I'm just not going to get to that. No, it says bestie, I have to answer that question, because that's part of the deal with the membership. That, and then also the fun emojis. I mean, come on, guys. Who does not want to pay $1.99 a month for my Monstera emoji? Kind of looks like this. My Monstera emoji. And then my Singer sewing machine emoji, the needle, the heart, the lace. Some of you members could drop some of those emojis in there. I love them so much. They're so much fun. Okay, let's see, Hannah. Silly Discord, yes. Top Cat Tiger. Instagram Live. I can give it a go to LOL, expanding my tech knowledge. Why not? Exactly. Victoria, I've seen some of your YouTube, and that's really cool. You and your daughter have met famous designers. It is, Victoria, and it is not lost on me. Like, how cool is that, you know? And she's writing her senior paper right now in school. Whew, she's thoughts and prayers, people. Oh my goodness, she's having a time. But she's writing her paper, and she's got like the story of like Cheval and all that, and it's just so cool. She's got pictures from meeting her, and yeah, it's super special that she's gotten to meet designers and go on trips and stuff with me. And I don't know if I told you guys, but this last fall, I don't want to say the name in case it doesn't work out, because honestly, I don't think I can fit the trip in this year. But this past fall, I reached out to like a major wedding gown designer. If I said her name, everyone in the room knows who it is. Okay. So exciting. I love this designer. I reached out for a press pass for New York Bridal Fashion Week, Luxury Bridal Fashion Week, and they were full. And they told me, reach out such and such week next year and you will get one. So, so exciting. And of course, my daughter, she's going to get in on that trip. But like I said, I think October is just too full. It's just too big of a month here for bridal season. And then I've already got a couple other things scheduled that month, a really big trip scheduled and stuff. So I don't think I can do it this year. It's probably gonna have to be next year. But you know your girl. When I go and I meet this designer, you guys are gonna get the information. You're gonna get to see and have like hopefully like interview stuff and insider information. Maybe we can even interview some models and see some dresses up close and stuff. That would be so cool. So cool. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's a blessing for her. You know, woohoo. Yes, woohoo. I'm excited. I want it to happen. One time it was so funny. I was up in NYC, and my husband was with me for the trip, and he got in on a picture with me and a designer, and I thought it was hilarious. Like, my husband fangirling over here. No, he wasn't really fangirling, but it was kind of funny. If you could picture your husband getting in a picture with a bridal designer. We've all got the bug. What can I say? So anyways, drop it in the comments, whatever you think, or DM me on Instagram or whatever. And don't forget, if you want to get in on that cleaning course, it's still open, and it's all linked to that in the virtual retreat, all linked to in my blog post. So you too can learn how to clean and box wedding gowns and add mad money to your bottom line of your shop without having to add additional clients to deal with. So how's that for a perk? It's $200, which you would make back with the sale of like one dress, essentially. And we sell, I don't know, 3 to 5 dresses a week, every week, all year long. So it can make you a lot of money. Lot of money. Well, take care, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And again, I'm not leaving you. We're just going to change the format of this. So take care. Bye.